Good afternoon, Wealth Our Way family. What is going on? It is your man, Charles Tank Harris, the founder and chief visionary officer of the financial literacy platform, Wealth Our Way, where our motto here is wealth is not only for the wealthy. Today is Thursday, April 29th, 2021. Man, the year is almost a third the way through. I want to thank each and every one of you who are here with me live as I stream to both Facebook and YouTube, and a special salute and shout out to the Wealth Our Way fam that catches this on pre-record, watches it overnight, watches it on the weekends, on the lunch break, under the sink when they're repairing it, in the kitchen, wherever you can squeeze 15 minutes of financial literacy in. I'm happy to have you with me. So we have been speaking all week about various estate planning tools. And what I want to get into today is probably the deepest dive that we'll take here, because as I explained to everyone, I'm a financial planner. I'm not an attorney. Financial planning and law often overlaps, as does tax work, investment work. I'm a conduit to a lot of different areas for my clientele and for my audience. And one of the things that we do in trying to minimize people's estate taxes and also pass on wealth in the most feasibly, non-disruptive way possible is we end up dealing with wills, trusts, powers of attorney, things of that nature. On a personal note, you guys know last year my younger brother was attacked and was in the hospital in a medically induced coma for several, I want to say it was probably about 3 weeks that he was in the coma. And he had recently married someone who didn't have the closest connection with my family, and we couldn't get in to see him. The combination of COVID with the limited visitation and the marital, legal next kinship, my mom was beside herself with trying to help my younger brother during this time. So it really hit home for me the importance of advanced directives or durable power of attorney, durable healthcare power of attorneys. But the area is so confusing that I want to take the time today to really just go into what the differences are. So I'm going to spend a lot of time. I think I'm off screen when I'm sharing you guys the Investopedia breakdown and walking you through all of these terms. So if you can't see me, sorry, when I go off screen, I'll be back at the end, but you'll hear my voice as I explain to you and walk you through the definitions. I like Investopedia, the way they define and differentiate these different documents, because there is a difference between a power of attorney and a durable power of attorney, an advanced directive, a durable healthcare power of attorney, a durable financial power of attorney. So there's a lot of differences and nuances, and we're going to try to take a high level stab at these things. And as always, you can put questions in the comments and I will make sure that they get answered over the next day or so. I go in and I check all the questions and answer them personally. So let's get at it. Let's share the screen and go right away to what is going on. Share screen. Boom. So what is the power of attorney? Now I'm going to have to go into that document, like I said, and move the cursor down. But a power of attorney is a legal document that gives one person, i.e., the agent or the attorney, in fact, the power to act for another person. And the person giving the power to the other person is known as the principal. Now, you can have a very broad and general power of attorney, which for my clientele, I suggest that they never do. Or you can have what is called a limited power of attorney, where you give someone specific rights to act on your behalf for a specific reason. Now, the majority of us have at some point in time purchased a car. And in purchasing a car, if we've purchased it from the dealership, even if you're not understanding what you did, you may have signed a limited power of attorney so that the dealership could act on your behalf with the Department of Motor Vehicles to register the vehicle and get your tags, your plate, whatever you call it in the state that you're in. So some people have entered into a power of attorney and have no idea that they've done it before. But I always suggest, if you're giving someone the right to act on your behalf, they have to go to a real estate closing for you. They have to go open a bank account for you. Make it a specific limited power of attorney with a set expiration. Hey, you can go do this specific task for me, and you have this many days to get it done, 30, 60, 90 days, and that's that. That is a high level general power of attorney. Now, here's the thing about a power of attorney. It only is in effect if the principal is still mentally capable to denounce it. So if the principal becomes incapacitated, the regular conventional power of attorney, it lapses. You can't use it any longer. So let's say, for instance, my brother had given me power of attorney before he got injured to go close on a house for him because I'm the financial guy in the family and he wanted me to show up to the closing. Then he gets into this accident. He's in a coma. I wouldn't be able to go close on his house that he desired for me to close on because once he's incapacitated, it ceases my ability to execute as his attorney in fact or agent with the power of attorney. So for those purposes, they have what is called a durable power of attorney. A durable power of attorney stays in effect regardless of whether the principal is still has control of his faculties or her faculties and is able to give commands. This is where it starts to get confusing. So let me go into the Investopedia program and bring down, we'll come down to the durable power of attorney. And then I'll come back on the StreamYard. So the durable power of attorney doesn't have to be for any specific thing. It can still be a general power of attorney that just has durable powers. It just basically means it is still in force even after a person becomes mentally incapacitated. Now, what you can do is you can make that specific as well. So if you want someone to have direct rights over what happens to you when you get injured and can actually make medical decisions on your behalf, you would get what is known as a healthcare power of attorney. It's also called a healthcare proxy. So once again, some things have the same actual thing that we're talking about, but has different names. If you think about football, a cornerback is also referred to as a defensive back. They're the same thing. So with the durable power of attorney for healthcare purposes, you now, if the person becomes incapacitated and did not give an advanced directive, let's talk for a minute on what an advanced directive is. I could tell someone right now, or no one specifically, I could make a document that says, if I become incapacitated, if I'm on life-sustaining methods in a hospital, I want my care stopped. I don't want to live on a feeding tube. That could be a decision I could make. I am making that decision while I am still of sound mind and body. That is called an advanced directive. I'm giving directions in advance of this instance happening. You don't need to have a power of attorney for that. That's just what I am saying is my wishes, and I memorialize that. Now, someone's going to have to carry that out. That's going to have to be on file with someone, because what if my spouse or my children say, oh, no, keep them alive no matter what? Someone needs to know, hey, this guy doesn't want that to happen. Here's what he said ahead of time. But if you do not have that directive, or let's think of this, because there's always some type of monkey wrench that comes up when stuff gets tight like this. Let's say I have a directive that says I don't want to be kept alive on a feeding tube or whatever the situation is. But I also have given my oldest daughter, who is in law school, she's probably the most responsible. If I give her durable power of attorney for healthcare purposes, she is now in charge of my medical decisions. She can supersede my advanced directive. She can say, he didn't know what he was talking about at that point in time. I have the right to make the decision right now, today. Here is the durable power of attorney. I want to keep them alive. Maybe they'll have come up with a cure for whatever's wrong with them. So this part of the planning process, very, very complicated. That's why I saved it for the last day. But on the simplest of levels, I believe everyone who is hearing my voice right now, the Wealth Our Way tribe and family, we need to address what happens to us and our affairs when we are not able to handle them ourselves. I suggest, at the bare minimum, an advance directive and or a durable healthcare power of attorney. Going through what I went through last fall with Lloyd, and I don't want to make it seem like it was my plight alone, going through what my family went through, we were crippled. And now you think about broken families, or what do they call them? The proper nice way to say it is extended families. I have an ex-wife who we have 5 children together. I have a 28-year-old daughter who was born before I met my ex-wife, and my ex-wife helped me raise her, and her mother, of course, raised her. She has a huge stake in my life. She's very, very much involved. We talk every day. She's going to want things to happen a certain way. My younger children, and maybe even my ex-wife, are going to want things to happen a certain way. My wife today is going to want things to happen a certain way. So what guides that? It's up to me, and in this case, you, to make the plan so that you don't have a bunch of people fighting inside of a hospital, fighting inside of a bank. Because just as though you have a durable healthcare power of attorney, you can also have a durable power of attorney for your finances. Someone who can go into the bank, someone who can, deal with Social Security, someone who can deal with your former employer and your pension monies and things of that nature. So this is a very, very technically sound, technically confusing, I should say, area for a lot of people. So I wanted to take my time and go through these various documents: the power of attorney versus the durable power of attorney. And then, as far as a durable power of attorney is concerned, that there's one for healthcare, there can be one for finances. And then, speaking not only of power of attorneys, you can just have an advance directive. So one of the questions says, is a DNR, which is a do not resuscitate, the same thing as an advance directive? To the best of my knowledge, the answer to that is yes. If I have said, don't resuscitate me, that is me in advance giving a directive. So what I want to say is thank you guys for joining in. Tomorrow, I'm going to have an estate planning attorney on with me who will answer any questions that you guys have. Do not embarrass me and have 0 questions. Please, the professionals I bring on here, they're taking time out their day to give free advice the same way that I give you guys free information. Let's hammer and pepper them with some questions so that they know their time wasn't wasted. And you can follow them on their social media handles. If they're out here doing this, they obviously want to spread their knowledge across various social platforms, of which mine is one. And I welcome you guys to come and show them the Wealth Our Way love that you show me every day. So with that being said, I want to thank you for your time. I love coming here at 12:30 Eastern every day and getting it popping with you guys. And I look forward to tomorrow at 12:30. Remember, wealth is not only for the wealthy. Have a great day.